We've talked before about key number one to developing skill with rhetoric, which was understanding persona. Today we're going to move to key number two, which is understanding appeals to the audience. One key to developing skill with rhetoric is understanding how a text appeals to an audience. It's good to know that what you write is going to appeal to your audience, but understanding how to appeal to the audience is what's going to make the difference. We can trace this idea all the way back to ancient Greece, to Aristotle. Aristotle developed a system that explained to his students how to locate what he called the available means of persuasion as they did certain things in their speaking and writing. It helped them as they developed their personae. Now, you can see it's a little bit different than persona. This is the plural. So he's talking about all of their different personas that they might develop as writers and speakers. It helped them understand the needs and the knowledge and experience of their readers. What do my audience want to know? What do they already know? And how is this going to add to their knowledge and experience? It also helped them as they researched and developed their topics. Rhetoric helps students accomplish their aims as they write, primarily to persuade readers to a course of action. Now, I don't want you to misunderstand and think this only works in persuasive writing, because it really works in all kinds of writing. Because even if you're not writing a persuasive paper, you are trying to persuade your audience. Even if what you're trying to persuade them to do is like your characters, be sympathetic to your characters, or appreciate the plot development. You want them to understand what you're trying to do and to appreciate your techniques. Persuasion happens because a writer makes certain types of appeal to the reader. If you can't appeal to your reader in some way, they're not going to be persuaded to do something that you want them to do, to agree with your point of view, or even just to like what you wrote. So let's look at what kind of appeals we're talking about. Now, the first one, and you guys have heard this before, is logos. Logos means you have a clear central idea and you have evidence to support it. Now, evidence to support a central idea has to be something that's relevant. It has to connect. If it doesn't connect, then that logos appeal is not going to be strong. Ethos means that the writer is knowledgeable and has information about the topic. You want to set yourself up as an authority, whether that's an authority about a certain topic in nonfiction writing, a certain point of view in a persuasive paper, or even just that you have skillful sentence construction and you're good at character development if you're writing fiction. The third type of appeal is pathos. This is when you draw on the emotions and interest of your audience so that they're going to be sympathetic to your arguments. Again, that doesn't just mean that you're trying to write a persuasive paper. This could be writing a short story that really draws in your reader and makes them want to care about those characters and understand all of your sentence structure, all of the things that you've brought into crafting that story so that the reader goes away understanding the point you were trying to make, the emotions that you were trying to touch, and just thinks, wow, that was a really great story and I'm glad that I read it. Now, these appeals don't have to be made in separate sections. You don't have to say, okay, now I'm appealing to logos, now I'm appealing to ethos, now I'm appealing to pathos. You can do that in a single paragraph. Even a single sentence can touch all of those appeals at once. This is what a skilled writer does. They craft their paper, their argument, their story, whatever it is that they're making, so carefully that it touches all of these appeals simultaneously. Now, the point of rhetoric is that it works because readers and writers and listeners and speakers can come together and make meaning out of what is there and bring understanding, because the writer has used their skill, their knowledge of their audience, their authority as a writer or a speaker to make the audience come along for the ride and really, really enjoy that journey. That's why it's so important that you hone your skills and you have a variety of techniques and strategies for making your writing work so that whoever's reading it is going to understand what you're trying to do and appreciate that.